It's been a year since I told my husband at a block party. You're just the father of my kids, not my soulmate. Sounds like the setup to a bad joke, right? Except the joke's on me. Justin's engaged now. Her name's Ashley, and she's exactly the type of woman I used to poke fun at, into CrossFit, meal prepping, and farmers markets. The worst part, she's genuinely nice, which somehow makes it worse. The kids adore her. Emma came home last week, excited about how Ashley taught her to braid her hair like it's some revolutionary skill I never bothered to learn. And that stung more than I want to admit. Before I get ahead of myself, if you like stories about real-life drama, bad decisions, and emotional chaos, hit that subscribe button. We've got more stories like this, lessons learned the hard way. Sometimes it's not until you lose something that you realize what it was really worth. Back to my mess. Justin and I were married for 8 years. We weren't perfect, but we had a rhythm. Life was a checklist: get married, buy a house, have kids, repeat. I thought that was enough. But somewhere along the line, I got restless. Not unhappy, just bored. And when you're bored, you start picking apart things that don't need fixing. His laugh was too loud. His jokes were too corny. His shirts were always slightly wrinkled. I convinced myself he wasn't the one. Whatever that even means. After years of shared bank accounts and school drop-offs, the block party felt like any other. Neighbors pretending to like each other more than they did. Kids hopped up on lemonade and cotton candy. A couple of drinks in, I felt bold, surrounded by friends nodding along to my complaints like they were gospel. I don't even remember what led up to it, but I heard myself say loud enough for Justin and probably half the block to hear. He's just the father of my kids, not my soulmate. The words hung in the air like smoke from a cheap grill. Justin didn't say anything. He just gave me this look, empty, not angry, not hurt, just empty. He nodded, turned around, and went back to flipping burgers, like I hadn't just torched our entire marriage with one sentence. I thought we'd laugh about it later. After all, we'd had worse fights. But we didn't. That night, he slept on the couch. The next night, too. A week later, he moved out. At first, I was defiant. Good riddance, I told myself. I'd get to rediscover who I was outside of being someone's wife. But the silence in the house grew louder each day. No more clinking of his coffee mug in the morning. No more dad jokes during dinner. Just me, the kids, and the echo of my own arrogance. When he started dating Ashley, I didn't think much of it. Just a rebound, I told myself. But then she stuck around. The kids liked her. Justin smiled differently around her, lighter, freer, like he wasn't carrying the weight of my constant disappointment anymore. I remember the first time I saw them together at the kids' soccer game. She was sitting next to him, laughing at something he said. It was the laugh that got me. It wasn't forced or polite. It was genuine, the kind of laugh I hadn't given him in years. I tried to pretend I didn't care. I dated a bit myself, but no one stuck. They weren't Justin. They didn't know how I liked my coffee, or that I snore when I've had too much wine. They didn't know the names of my childhood pets, or the way I cry during cheesy commercials. Justin knew all of that, and I threw it away because I thought I deserved some grand, sweeping romance. Turns out I had it all along. I was just too blind to see it. The kids started slipping Ashley's name into conversations like it was normal. Ashley makes the best pancakes, Emma said. Ashley helped me with my science project. I smiled through gritted teeth, nodding along like it didn't bother me. But it did. It still does. Last week, Emma left her school folder at Justin's place. I volunteered to pick it up. When I arrived, Ashley answered the door. She greeted me with that annoyingly perfect smile and invited me in. I almost declined, but curiosity, and maybe a little masochism, got the better of me. Their house was cozy, filled with the kind of warmth you can't fake. Family photos on the walls, kids' drawings on the fridge. It felt like home, the kind I used to have. I spotted Justin in the kitchen, laughing with our son over something on his phone. He glanced up, saw me, and gave a polite nod. Nothing more. No anger. No sadness. Just a man who had moved on. On the drive home, the folder sat untouched on the passenger seat. I stared at it during red lights, feeling the full weight of my mistakes. I had tested his love, pushed him to the edge, and expected him to fight for me. But he didn't. He left. And the worst part, he was right to. Now, a year later, I'm sitting in the same house, surrounded by the same walls, but everything feels different. The silence is heavier, filled with the echoes of words I can't take back. So here's my advice. Don't mistake comfort for complacency. Don't test someone's love just to see if it's real, because sometimes they'll pass the test by walking away. And they won't look back. If you found this story relatable or eye-opening, subscribe to our channel. We share real-life lessons like this every day. Sometimes hearing someone else's mistakes is the wake-up call we all need. Thank you for listening.